Coming from someone who has interviewed hundreds of candidates over the phone, telephone interviews can be tricky. But if you stick with me today, we have lots of very helpful and practical information to help you get through your telephone interview and on to the next stage of your job application. Your telephone interview is so important because this will likely be the first interaction that a recruiter or a hiring manager has with you in that business. Therefore, it's really important that you're prepared and you give the best account of yourself on that telephone interview. It's really important that you familiarize yourself with the time and the date in which the telephone interview is taking place, as well as who's calling you from the business. It's so important that you have these details etched into your mind because you don't want to get caught off guard with this interview. If they have confirmed who you're speaking with on the invite, it'll be really good for you to have a quick look into that person in that business to get a little bit more of an understanding of what their role is there before they start telling you about it. Make sure you're comfortable with the location in which you're going to be taking the call so that you can get yourself there maybe 5 or 10 minutes before the interview's due to start. I'd recommend taking the call in a quiet room free of any distractions. I wouldn't recommend going for a walk while on the phone because if the interviewer can hear the noises in the background, it may seem like you've forgotten about the call and they've caught you off guard just out on a stroll. Gather all the equipment you need for the day so it's ready for you before you start. This could include headphones, water bottle, notepad and pen, just everything you need in front of you so you're not scrambling in case you've forgotten anything during the call. It also may be worth you clarifying ahead of the interview which number they're going to reach you on, just in case you've put multiple points of contact on your CV. You don't want to be sat there with the wrong phone in front of you and they're trying to call you and they can't get hold of you. Also have contact details to hand ready for that business in case the line drops halfway through. If you've got it noted down, an email address or a contact number for their main reception, you can easily call straight through and let them know of the issue. You want to make sure you're getting hold of them in another way ASAP if the line drops, so having this information here in front of you is going to be really helpful on the day. Also, you'd think that this wouldn't be an issue, but please make sure that your phone is charged if you're using a mobile phone. There have been quite a few times where I've been on the phone to candidates and their line has dropped because their phone died. As part of your equipment, it may be worth having a charger there ready just in case. Okay, so now you're prepared, it's time to talk about the call itself. In more cases than not, the recruiter will call you first, so make sure you're on hand to answer that phone ASAP. You don't want to leave it to ring for too long. You want to show that you're keen and you're willing to take this call. The recruiter knows that you're expecting this call, so this is your moment to politely introduce yourself and make sure that you're sounding excited at the prospect of talking to that recruiter. Telephone interviews are so tricky because we're relying heavily on our vocal communication, so you want to make sure that you're sounding excited at the prospect and that you really want to be on that call. Emotions do sell, and of course you don't want to overdo it, but you want to show that you're happy to be taking that call. When you first start speaking, say, "Hi there, it's lovely to speak to you. My name's Harvey, I really appreciate your time on the phone." The recruiter will take the lead. It's what they're expecting to do on that phone call, so make sure that you're listening patiently and allowing enough time for each sentence to finish. Maybe give it a few seconds after they finish talking before you respond because you want to make sure that you're not overlapping and there's no crossed wires. Also, another really important point, don't shy away from small talk or mild conversation at the start of your interview. Unless the recruiter specifically says they want to get straight into business, don't be afraid to ask them how their day's gone, maybe even talk about the weather, kind of all the cliche stuff. But don't be afraid to put across a little bit of personality and ease yourself into the call a bit more naturally. Talking to the recruiter as a human being is going to help you feel a little bit more at ease in your interview and hopefully a little less nervous. The interview may be a bit more conversational, where you're both kind of asking questions back and forth, or they may give you the opportunity to ask questions at the end. It's really important to ask questions about the role or even about that recruiter on the telephone call because it shows that you're interested and it shows that you're actually committed to that opportunity. I always say this, but don't ask questions at this early stage, such as, what's the salary or what are the benefits? You want to make sure that you're showing you care about the other parts of the role, the intrinsic stuff like progression and what the company values. When you end the call, make sure that you tell the interviewer it was lovely to speak to them, or however you want to word it, and jot down any details about next stages that they provide. It's important to jot down notes throughout the whole interview on the phone anyways, but I'd recommend highlighting the details of next stages, any dates or any times that they may like to invite you back in. Okay, so that's what we have time for today. I really hope this has helped you feel a little bit better about your upcoming telephone interview, and I wish you the best of luck in whatever role you're going for. Of course, if you have any questions, please let me know down in the comment section below. That's what I'm here for. I'm always happy to help and answer your questions to help your job search a little bit more. But otherwise, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like, subscribing, that would be the best way to motivate me to keep making content for you guys. And other than that, I'll leave you to your day. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.